Okay, hi, welcome to our presentation. My name is Lauren Raper.
My name is Lauren Pope. And my name is Mackenzie.
Okay, so we have the two poems.
Hush Wifery by Edward Taylor and To My Dear and Loving Husband by Anne Bradstreet.
And in the two poems, there were many common elements that we found that we were able to bring into a summary that included important information about the poems.
We found the word archive in the background. It says that a stash of Taylor's work was found in the 1930s. His poem showed a system of beliefs adapted by Puritans at his time.
And we also found an example of a secondary source in the background. And it says that some people believe that he chose not to publish his poems because they were so joyous. But we don't know if that was the actual reason, so we can only take that as a secondary source because it didn't come from him himself.
We found an example for universal and both, and it was love. Taylor was showing his love for God by wanting to obey him. And Anne was showing her love by pouring out her feelings to her husband. As you can see, love is everywhere.
And then we found the term objectively in the background too. And Anne knew it was not acceptable to write poetry, but she did anyway because her love of poetry wasn't objected by other people's feelings.
Our term primary source can be described by the stash of Taylor's poetry found. His writing describes a period of life by a first-hand account.
Okay, so in Hush Wifery, Edwards is asking God to clothe him in holy robes for glory.
I'm sure many of the people in this room are athletic or do some sort of activity. Can we see a show of hands for people who are involved in such a program?
Hello, Tori. What activity are you involved in?
Softball. And you need some sort of equipment or supplies for this activity, correct?
Yes. Okay, so we wanted to take the poem and bring it to life, but in a more modern version. So we're going to start the video, and you're going to watch right here.
Y'all don't really want it like I do. Here comes the. Here comes the. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like I do. Here comes the. 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 Y'all don't really want it like I do. Here comes the. 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 Y'all don't really want it like I do. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it.
Okay. Okay.
Hush Wifery showed many examples found in the literature.
Okay, so Mary, take your minute. You'll see what we're doing at the end, so don't freak out. Okay, so the first one is analysis, and it can be found on page 101, lines 13 through 16. It is showing analysis of what he's asking God to do for him. And in our skit, an analysis is that you have to prepare to play for a good game.
The central idea for Hush Wifery is that Edward wants to become closer to God. It is like our skit. The central idea was me getting ready for a song.
And the denotation for Hush Wifery is complete. He wants God to make him complete, so that word sums up all he's trying to say. We showed this in the play. She needs to be completely ready to be able to play a successful game.
The primary source for Hush Wifery, of course, is Edward Taylor because he wrote it. All of his opinions are his own.
Okay, and this poem is relevant to what we're learning in U.S. history, actually, about Puritans. And our skit is relevant to Lauren Pope because she loves soccer.
The syntax for Hush Wifery is joyous. He uses such a joyous words that the Puritans didn't agree upon him in his writing.
Right, and then the counterclaim, sorry, my fault. Right. The audience would have to be God because Edwards is asking him to help him. And the audience for our skit would obviously be you guys, the class. Because you're paying attention and watching our presentation.
The counterclaim for this story can be found in the background. The poems were delightful, which didn't agree with the Puritans, thus making Edward's statements a counterclaim.
And the diversity can be seen on page 101. When it talks about dyeing cloth in the same and heavenly color of choice, He's talking about how all these different colors make up his holy robes. And in our skit, all the different equipment made up her stopper.
The purpose of Pushwalkery was so Edwards could ask God to come into him and make him holy. The purpose of our skit was to get ready and play in the talking.
And we found Puritan on page 101, and it said when the people were complete and full with God, that's how they were considered Puritans.
We see tolerance when God is tolerating their sin. In the play, I am tolerating how long it takes to get ready.
And now I'm clothed in holy robe for glory.
Okay. Now I'm going to
The love part of our project.
Ladies, it's time to get out your tissues and your Rocky Road ice cream because the tears are about to fall.
Have any of you heard of the little movie called Titanic?
It's nothing major. It only grossed $658 million.
Well, even though the original is wonderful, we created our own version.
We all want you to see that Jack and Rose could have both fit on that door.
Jack,
Yes, Rose.
do you remember when I read you that poem? What's it called? It's so cold. I can't remember.
To my dear and loving husband.
Jack, it's almost time.
Be quiet, Rose.
There's not much time.
Be quiet, Rose.
I really want to.
Hush, Rose. Don't you know I know? Don't you know I see? Don't you know I feel?
Jack,
Yes, Rose.
I love you.
I love you too.
I want to persevere in our love, but
I have an idea.
what is it?
Let's get married right now.
That's preposterous. We can't get married. We haven't a preacher, family, or an audience.
This is true. Time isn't exactly on our side. But I love you and you love me. And that's the central idea of marriage, right? Love?
I suppose. We could be the family, audience, and preacher.
Precisely.
Maybe if one of us
Both of us survived.
we can share our story. We can give people hope. Love is universal, is it not?
It is.
We can even record it. It will be our diary of love, just like the poem I read to you. It was her purpose to share their story of love.
Well, I guess we should begin.
We shall.
To be precise, I love you more than any man could love a woman.
And I love you more than any woman can love a man.
I promise to try to always use romantic syntax with you, because I know it makes you happy, and I want to make you happy always,
And I promise to always be the best wife and best friend I can be to you.
in good times and bad,
And sing and send and help.
for as long
As we both
shall live.
That was great. Maybe we think it's one of your
Okay. It's so sweet.
I know. I'm tearing up right now.
Guys, stop blubbering. Get to the standards.
Right.
Okay, all the following are examples of to my dear and loving wife, or husband.
In the poem, the audience is her husband. And in the play, the audience is also her husband, or soon-to-be husband, Jack.
The central idea in the poem and the play is showing how love is the most important part of marriage or a relationship.
The universal theme is love. Love is everywhere, in movies and books. Everyone understands the concept.
Using a diary allowed you to record your feelings. Anne wrote the poem and poured her love to her husband. In the play, Rose wanted to record how deep her love was.
And the purpose was to show how deep their love was and how they would do anything for the other person. And this was the same as it is in the poem.
Precise is to exactly state or define something. The love in both of the stories is deeply defined. You can tell by them saying, I love you more than any man could love a woman in the play. And if ever man was loved by wife, then thee.
They both used syntax because they went to a deep description about how much they loved each other.
And the denotation in the poem and the play is also love because it's a specific feeling that they had for each other.
Persevering the word we thought represented connotation. They both wanted to continue with their love forever.
To paraphrase the poem, the love between a man and a woman will never end because it is so great.
Okay, and then we have our little heart of love. Okay. Okay, so to wrap up our presentation, we actually had a rap made by Miss Lauren Pope. So,
Thanks for y'all's time.
okay. So,
Well, Puritan, y'all don't get it, do you? Type of worship, everybody acting like they know God. Go uptown New England, Charles Widge. The evil girls hate 'em like they want to kill 'em. Tell the audience I'm gonna love 'em through. Praying hard, loving God, ain't much to do. Paraphrase, gotta love, getting great. It's still got a counterclaim full of joy and delight. How you feel, how you feel, how you feel. God is tolerating all your sin. I'm in the archive and we're going back. Rest in peace, Puritanism. I'ma do it for God, okay? Give precise, we'll holler whenever we're together. My purpose good, it can't even show more love. Tell my diary, all my feelings. The devil is a seat, you don't ever go his way. The universal theme is love. She just wants to hold on to her husband. We got diversity and love by the leaders. You know, even if we die in the same heavenly colors. That's how you feel, that's really how you feel, because the connotation is to persevere. I mean, maybe it's time or maybe it's not. I can almost guarantee you'll love this summer.
okay, that's it.